The precept for the month of September is who dares wins, and the associated principle from the Code of Chivalry is courage. I was having a discussion with one of my students the other day, and they were saying that a knight isn't a knight if they basically sit on their ass and do nothing except talk about being a knight. Action is required. A knight isn't a knight if they just talk the talk and not walk the walk. And I totally agree with that. The student went on to say that a warrior or a knight must be willing to engage an opponent, and I totally agree with that also. You have to be able to run straight at your fears. You have to be able to take charge, and taking responsibility involves action. But then the student made a statement with which I have a problem, and knowing the student very well, I understand what they were trying to say. It's just the way that they worded it. What they said was, a warrior must be willing to take life. Now, the reason I take issue with that is because although you are certainly allowed legally to use lethal force to protect yourself and others against lethal force, that's self-defense and that's acceptable. That statement suggests that somebody who is, for example, a sniper who is hiding and picking off unsuspecting people, or someone who straps explosives to themselves and infiltrates a crowd of unsuspecting people and blows themselves up, are courageous and warriors, and they are neither. Being a warrior isn't about being violent, and this has nothing to do with courage. Even worse, it suggests that someone like Gandhi, who risked his life, in fact, in the end, gave his life, standing up for the rights of others, isn't courageous and isn't a warrior. And that being because he refused to engage in violence. He would never have considered taking life. Well, that's not true either, because I can't think of a better example of a warrior than someone like Gandhi. And it was a perfect example of being a warrior in that it was about being effective, not violent. So how do we resolve this? Well, I think we need to reword that statement. And the way I'd reword it is to say that a warrior or a knight is a person who is willing to risk their life to stand up for others, to protect others. And that would cover those kind of situations. One might actually rephrase it by saying, who dares wins, who is courageous risks. That's kind of a nice way of tying it up, don't you think? Anyway, I'm Kerr Cuhulain. Thanks for listening. Go out there and be glorious.